Ayo, who made this? Ammo 7 did it again.
Welcome to another episode of Big Ego Media. Got a special guest called by the name of Big Myatts. How you doing today, bro?
I'm all good, my brother. No complaints, man. Smooth, man.
Yeah, so, as we always do, for the people who don't know you, we like to go back and find out the origin of people and to get to know your story. First and foremost, tell us where you're from, where your background, where did you grow up?
Well, my name is Michael, but they call me Mikes. I'm originally from Southeast, Brixton. Yeah, I mean, before I even go off into one, I'm not even, keep it 100. I don't, before we even start this interview, I don't even want us to feel like I'm just putting out a mad narrative of badness. So just in case anyone hears anything and you start thinking, no, this is just all to do with just like where man's come from and some real stuff.
Yeah.
To keep it 100.
Yeah. You say you grew up in Brixton.
Mm-hmm.
How was life growing up in Brixton?
Just being quite blunt, honest, like Brixton in a weird way has been the Gaza for man. Yeah, just, I mean, when I say the Gaza, I just mean it's just been this badness, just been nuts. I can't even lie, in the most respectful way.
So, who did you grow up with? Did you grow up in a household with both your parents, mom, dad?
Yeah, funny enough, like both my mum and my dad were like both pastors at the time when they were together anyway. Yeah, so I grew up with both of them until obviously they split, and then you get it.
So what's your sort of background, nationality?
So I'm Ghanaian. Tiny little bit of mixes here and there, but I'm just straight Ghanaian. Like that's it. Just straight Ghanaian.
So how was it kind of growing up in an African household with parents who, I guess, is somewhat, when you're pastors, you're a little bit more strict?
It's an interesting one because, like my pops, like he was on smoke. Like when we think about like African parents and stuff like that, like he was smoky. I'm not even gonna lie. Like we couldn't even do nothing. We couldn't really go out like that too tough. Like even if we did go out, we had to come back in early. Homework, school. He was just greasy. Like I can't even lie. My pops was like, he was busy. My mum was more the calm one at the time. Like, but my pops, like, he was like the staunch, busy African. I can't even lie. Like we couldn't even rap still.
So in the household, was it you have siblings?
Yeah, so it was me and my two little brothers at the time, younger brothers. So I think one's just a year and a half younger than me. The other one's like 4 or 5 years younger than me still.
So
yeah.
You was the oldest?
I was the oldest still. Did
that place much responsibility on you?
Yeah, I definitely think it did. I mean, for what I can remember in terms of like responsibility wise, like I have to look after my brothers. Yeah, like whether it's in school, outside of school, whether it's in the area, whatever it is, like I have to. That's my role, innit? Like I'm big bro, so that's just what it is, and that's what it's got to be.
And how was you quite kind of academically?
Good question, because you know what, like academically, I wasn't even actually that bad, you know. Come to think of it, like I wouldn't even go as far as say that I was one of the sharpest in the class, but I definitely say like I could hold my own. Like as long as I put my mind to whatever I needed to do, I reckon I could hold my own. My grades weren't too shabby, you know, if I'm being honest. Yeah. Not too shabby, yeah.
Did your parents pay enough attention to academics? Because African parents, like you have to be a doctor, you have to be a lawyer. Was that the focus?
Yeah, Pops was smoky with academics. I can't even lie. Like he's the one that like gets busy with homework, but with him it was nuts because as much as he wanted us to like get it right work-wise and stuff like that, he put a lot of pressure on man without knowing what he's doing. I mean, I'm guessing that obviously he wanted the best for man. So I guess his way of going about it, his approach was quite like, like if you don't get it right, like you get caned, or you go and do ABC, you go and do squats, whatever it is. Like you just get busy. Like he was like a busy guy. I'm not even gonna stunt.
I mean, just to touch on that, right? Because we look at society that we live in now. I grew up in a Congolese household, and we used to get beats as well. Looking at myself now with children, I could never hit my children. Do you think we becomes too westernized, or is it a thing that and some people look at the beating as like child abuse? Have we become too westernized, or was it like tough love that was needed at the time?
That's a proper good question, you know, because did it put me in line? I guess where it needed to. It slightly put me in check. Do I think at times it was a bit too much? Yeah. I don't think the amount of times that we would get in trouble for, and especially for what the things we were getting in trouble for, I don't necessarily think it was warranted for us to like be dealt with in that manner. But I get like harsh love. I'm about that. I get it. Like, you know, like that discipline. I just think everything there needs to be a balance, and I just don't know if our parents know or have a clue of what a balance looks like, if that makes sense. Yeah.
So, I mean, you're growing up in Brixton. What part of Brixton at the time?
So where I'm originally from, I'm from a place called Myatts, so southeast Myattsfield estate, where they used to call Baghdad. So like Angel Town, and when everyone hears Brixton, they think Angel Town is the only place that exists. So Angel Town and Myattsfield were like neighbours, literally like two minute walk, 3 minute walk.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what is it, just because of different estates? That's why it was named different.
Yeah, that estate's actually called Angel Town, and our estate's actually called Myattsfield. Okay. Yeah. Probably live so close to each other.
So at kind of which point then did kind of things turn around for you where the pull of the roles kind of got you involved?
You know what, like, I feel like for me, like, it all started when I was younger. Like, my house used to get burgled. Like, sounds mad, like, but my house used to get burgled. As a youth, like, coming in from church with my paps and my mum and stuff like that, and seeing my front door slightly open, or even seeing cracks and breaks and that in my window, I'm saying, hold on, wait there, doesn't this mean that we just got robbed? Like, but then we go inside and you realise that everything's scattered, the house has like been properly burgled. The feds are coming to my house, they're doing fingerprints and stuff like that. Like, as a youth, I'm watching that, and that's just become surreal to me. Like, right, hold on, like, I'm living in an environment where like I'm getting burgled. Like, it was mad for me as a youth, and that kept on like there was like a reoccurrence of that like happening, like, and it's like, wait, what's going on? How can I be living in this area that I live in, and I see most of the youths that are out there, I probably even say hello to them sometimes, but my house is getting drummed. So like, I feel like for me, like, looking at those things, like, it made me feel mad unsafe. Like, it made me feel as if my family were unsafe, you know? So it was like, I guess for me, it was this yearning, like, bro, like, I need to protect my family. Do you get it? Like, I don't know how I'm finna protect my family, but bro, like, man can't be getting my house drummed, like, because who knows, one day they could drum my house with someone in there, and then it gets busy, and then something goes completely wrong, and then what then? You understand? So those thoughts and stuff like that would play on me, and I just always wanted someone to be or play the big brother role for me, to tell whoever's robbing my crib, just allow, man, like, we're just normal folk, like, we ain't got mad bread like that, like, do you get it? We're just normal folk, but unfortunately, like, I didn't really have that, you know? So I feel like as I got older, like, that was still in me, like, what can I do to protect my family? Like, how can I be, what do I need to do, what procedures do I need to go through to make sure I can protect my family? And for me, I feel like that's where everything started, if I'm being honest, yeah.
And do you kind of remember what year you'd have been in?
So I feel like we started doing like, just like childish things, like throwing eggs at windows and, you know, naughty stuff, like maybe like year 5, yeah. Year 6, I probably started getting into like robbing people and doing kind of those strange. I was just like, I remember being in primary school, I was a bit of a bully. Like, I don't even know why I was a bully, but I was just like, I was a bully, man. I'm not even gonna lie. So yeah, I think it started from probably year 6. I think, yeah, year 6.
What kind of made you want to be the bully? Was you shy? Was you always quite big? What was it? Or was it a discipline at home where you feel powerless at home because your dad's the big one, so you now had to prove yourself?
Do you know what, yeah? You might actually be on something, because I think it had a lot to do with, obviously my dad's just being a dominating figure, like, but I feel like my older cousins, yeah, I had some older cousins, I swear they used to bruck me up when I was young, like, no cap, like, I'm not even joking, like, I swear that, I don't know as to why they used to smash man up, whether he was being mad cheeky or mad rude or whatever, but I'm pretty certain that they used to smash man up, like, I'm not even gonna lie, I remember now, like, one of them grabbing my head and bang, banging my head on the wall. Like, I can't remember whether I dropped and he kicked me up, but I definitely know that I was probably getting bullied as a youth, to be fair. Come to think of it. And I just think that maybe as I grew up, it was like, raw, like, I've been getting moved to, like maybe it's my turn to start getting busy too. So I feel like, yeah, that might actually have a role to play still.
So going into year 7, did the bullying continue?
Oh, year 7 for me, if I'm being honest here, I thought I was a bad boy. I'm not even gonna lie. Year 6, I thought I was a bad boy. I remember even just the way I would walk home from school. Like, the primary school, like people even my age, I didn't even look at them like they were my age. Like, I always looked at myself like I was a grown youth. Do you get it? So like going into year 7, nah. I went into year 7 quite cruddy. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, yeah, I went into year 7 quite cruddy still.
And did the elders kind of notice that and say, yeah, this one day there's something about him?
Ooh, I feel like, boy, we can go into that. I thought I was gonna dive into that later on, but yeah, there was a particular person, if I'm being brutally honest, that made mention of something. Like, one time I was walking on the block, I think I was with a couple of my brethren, and we were walking into my crib, and then he was with his big dogs, and I remember him like tapping them and being like, they're pointing and they were pointing at me, and then they were like, you see that youth there? That youth Mike's? Next killer on this block. And I remember, like, I looked at him and I turned my face and then I went into my house and then I shut my door. And as I shut my front door, I swear on everything I own, I felt like there was like a spiritual shift. Like, I felt like I turned into a completely different human being because of the caliber of who it was that said what they said.
And they say, I mean, if you look at scriptures, they say word are powerful and word are curses. So he turned around and said that this guy there is going to be the next king.
Bro, he basically prophesied that, like, bro, and I must be honest with you, as I shut my door, I can't lie to you, I was not the same person. And it's mad because someone go, well, how can you change just from walking 5 yards from your door, close your door, and now you're a completely different human being, bro? I turned into a complete different human being there, bro.
Do you think it was the confidence or the person that was that the person that was saying it because of who they were, it gave you that confidence?
100%.
Believe in me.
100%. 100%. The person that said it and who it was one of the big dogs there.
Yeah. Having that knowledge now, you felt this kind of spirit. The next day, how are you moving?
In the most like respectful way, and I've never said something like this. Like, I don't know how I used to wake up in the mornings with like M on my mind, like thinking about like who can man get rid of, like respectfully, like when normal people wake up in the morning and they think about breakfast or go on their phone and go on social media, or, bro, like man used to wake up and have the darkest of thoughts, bro, like evil thoughts, bro, like we need to get busy and get man down, but effectively.
Was the beef that intense, or was it like a made up beef within you? Because sometimes like young people at that time, like, yeah, I need to beef my man, I need to go on. But was it that deep at the time? Or, I mean, looking back, it couldn't have been that deep. But when you're in that mode, did you feel it was that deep?
I guess there's levels to everything. If I'm being like all the way honest, like. I feel like when you're starting off, you're like young, it's just little petty stuff, like little sneaky beef, like schools from schools. Like you go to this school or you go to that school and what they think that they're bad, and we go over to their school or they come over to our school and there's little rockers here and there and if it's get cracking. But yeah, that was just like the little bases of it. Do you get it? Like that's like the small, more like lower level. But I feel like as you get older, like it starts to develop into something a little bit more serious and a little bit more deep because things start happening. You start taking some losses, friends, and then it just starts getting mad techie, you know, and yeah, it gets mad techie.
And the name Big Mike's, where did that come from?
It wasn't even Big Mike's, they used to call me Mad Mike's.
Mad Mike's,
like, I guess.
You know, I got confused because we got a player in our team
called Big Mike's. Nah, it's calm. You know what? Yeah, I feel like they're naming that just based on like, I feel like I had a short fuse. Like I'd go from like normal how I am from 0 to like 170 in 2.3 seconds. Like all it takes is someone to say the one wrong word, or in my head, I feel like a man speaking to me in a certain way or addressing me in a certain way, and boom, that's it, head gone. I see nothing but red. And in that redness, like at a moment, anything can happen until after I've calmed down and I think, oh my God, what have I just done? Did you get it? So that's why I'm guessing they used to call me that, unless they have their own separate reasons, I don't know, but to my knowledge, yeah. That's why they used to call me that still.
So I mean, you just touched on there, like, you'll kind of reflect later on and go, oh my God, what did I just kind of do? But after that reflection, you'll do another kind of madness. What was going in you? Because when you're at that moment where you thought about, you know what, why did I just do that? What made you still go and do it something again?
I guess for me, it's like, that was just in me. Like, I wasn't pretending to be that guy, an angry black sort of person. It was just what came natural to me. Like in terms of like me acting off impulse, that was just my natural. Yeah, and because it was inside of me, as much as I knew that a lot of it weren't good, I couldn't stop it. If I'm being honest, I didn't even know how it could be stopped.
Did you think it was spiritual?
I wouldn't know, I was a youth. I just thought, this is who I am, I'm just that guy. Like when you piss me off, I just go all the way on 1,000. And if that means 1,000 getting busy, then that means 1,000 getting busy, and that's just all I thought it was. I didn't think, oh, there was a spiritual thing. I just thought maybe I was just born an angry kid.
So going through all of this, again, we must remember you grew up in a household with parents who are pastors.
Yeah.
Are they seeing this transition of their young boy and how you're changing, and what are the words? Can dad still be physical with you? Because it comes to a point where dad can't be physical anymore. It's like, you look at him like, what's going on here?
Facts, because that did happen still.
Okay.
Yeah, my mum's, she had an inkling that there was a slight bit of change, because she would find certain things in my house that was like, huh? Like, what? Like, do you get it? Like, where she's like, nah. There's no chance. Like, it can't be real, if that makes sense. With my pops, obviously, he wasn't really living with me at the time. That, you know, we were kind of getting a little bit busy. But he would still come to the house and do pups mode when my mum would call him. And there was one time he did it, and remember, I'm on the road now, like, and he tried to check me. Unfortunately, I did a mad rebel, like, which was nuts, insane for him and for me too, because Pups is the greasiest as far as I'm concerned. And yeah, he checked me, but I didn't kind of allow him to check me, which was, it caused this mad like rift. And
Can I say a huge disrespect for African father?
Yeah. Like, he wanted to get busy on me. I could see it in his eyes. But then I think he looked at me as well and could see it in my eyes that if you get busy, I'm finna get busy too. Like, in that moment, you know, it's crazy because that's your pups. You understand? Like, and even me thinking about it now, I'm thinking, what the hell was I even thinking? Get busy with my pups? Like, I've lost my mind. But I had got to that point where I'm like, bro, if a man can't check me on the road, I'm not even getting G-checked by anyone, then I'm gonna let my dad come in and be boxing me up, and I'm supposed to be this so-and-so and get busy on the road? You're mad. You understand? And everything for me was like about always me being real, being real to myself. So, I mean, my dad tried to check me, I kind of rebelled, like in the most respectful way. I tried to. And I think from then, like, I don't think he even told me off after that. I don't think he ever come and tried to hit me or any of my brothers after that. I feel like it was like a mad turning point for him. But I guess for him, it was looking at it from the perspective of, bro, he doesn't want to be getting busy with his sons. You understand? Like that's mental. How's he gonna want to start fist me up? And then, you understand? It just gets mad, like fighting, and I'm rocking my pups. Nah, man, that would be like a massive curse on myself as well. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man. But from then, it all stopped. I'm not even gonna lie, bro. It did.
So, I mean, at this time, you got your younger brothers kind of looking on and seeing what's going on within you. How do you kind of navigate how they behave and what they're doing? Because naturally, younger brothers look up to their older brother.
Yeah, my little bros, they were always good youths. Like, my brother was playing for Palace at the time. He was doing really well. My other brother was doing athletics. He was killing it at the time. So, like, I was really big on, like, what they were doing. Like, for me, I didn't really have a career path. I feel like as a youth, I was mad insecure. I ain't gonna lie, bro. Like, mad insecure. Like, I didn't actually think that I was capable of doing anything, like, in life. Like, you know, like some people, that they aspire to be footballers, some aspire to be musicians, some aspire to be whatever it is, doctors, whatever. Bro, I didn't think that there was any lane for me. Like, legit, like nothing at all. That's even part of the reason why I even jumped on the road, because I found so much life and things and a sense of purpose and belonging on the road. But my little brothers, I guess, in terms of them seeing the lifestyle that we live in, and, you know, names is ringing bells, like, they go to school, they go to college, and youths and that, people are talking about, rah, your brother and so on and so forth, and the gang this and ABC. So I guess for them, like, it was always like a bit of a highlight for them. Do you get it? I definitely know that there were probably at times that my brothers did kind of want to try and flirt with it a bit, like, you know, but I was like, bro, like, my brothers ain't touching the road, like, on God. Like, I used to tell my brethren and stuff like that. I'm like, bro, like, if man ever think that they could be bringing my brother in, or any of my little brothers, or rolling with them, bro, like, me and whoever it is, we'll get busy. Like, that's how serious I took it. I'm like, I'm not seeing man rolling with my little brother. You see my little brothers, you send them home. They're not out here on the block. Out here, it's the Gaza, it's the jungle. What's my brothers doing out there, bro? I know how mad peak it is. They're not, why are they out here? So anytime, like, I would see them out, nah, like, obviously they would still go and do their own thing, like, have their own bridges that they will roll with, like, and even one of my brothers, I heard that one time, them and some youths robbed some youths, and I remember getting a phone call saying that, raw, one dog was saying that, raw, they're gonna pitch your little brother. Like, but obviously whoever it was, that individual didn't know it was my little brother. So obviously when I got the inkling, I just made 2 phone calls, said, yo, sir, listen, that incident over there, my little brother, don't even let those words come out of your mouth ever again. Now you know it's my little brother. You dead it off. Whatever the incident is, whatever the occasion, whatever happened, kill it off now. Otherwise, ABC. And then I got into my little brother, greased him the hell down. I said, bro, are you mad? Do you know how much nonsense that you can get me into because of foolishness that you're doing? That you want to be doing A, B, C, and D. About you lot are robbing people, you're mad. So I remember greasing my brother and saying, bro, if I see any of your brethren that you were rolling with at the time, make it known. If they see me, I see them, man, no, they better just keep it stepping quickly, you know. So I was super protective over them. As much as they really wanted to get involved, I just wouldn't really allow it, if I'm being honest.
And in the same instance, you just said like you were super protective over them, and at the time, I guess the gang was OC, which is kind of renowned, being called organized crime. They were having a real active beef with different areas, including Peckham and so on. Although you're trying to protect your brother, at the same time, are you putting them in danger because of who you are? Because I'm like, you know, actually, let's go and get Mike's brother. Yeah,
that I did. My brother went Richmond College, and I heard a few of the youths, the younger lot from the NAM used to go over there. I was never comfortable, ever. I was always on edge, on my seat, thinking that I'm gonna get that phone call that maybe my brother's been brought up or whatever because of man. I was always on edge. And I remember one time I got a phone call that my brother's in hospital. Now, I didn't know what happened. I didn't even care for what happened. I just heard my brother's in hospital. Now, you have to remember, I've been playing in my mind, these youths don't like man and they can't catch man. So if they can catch the closest thing to man, it would be my brother. They would go and find him at his college. So when I got the phone call, I heard he's in hospital, ABC. No word of a lie, I don't think I even phoned to even ask what happened. I remember just saying, okay, my brother's in hospital. All right, tomorrow, I'll roll up to the college with Satam. I'm going to do the Mazzolini in broad daylight. I'm going to set an example, and something like that will never ever happen again. And that was my thought processing. I wasn't thinking I'm going to go into a public college. It's very dangerous. I could get arrested. There could be police. I went red and said, okay, these youths have got my brother. Because that's all that was in my mind. Remember, I never asked what happened. I just heard my brother's in hospital. But I know that a lot of those, the youths from over there, were going to his college. So in my mind, I said, all right, cool, I'm going to jail. And it was like a decision that I'd made at that moment. I was like, okay, all right, I've lived thus far. I can't remember how old I was. I've lived a little bit of life. I was like, all right, cool. But it is what it is. That's my little brother. These youths have got him down. All right, I know I'm going to do the Mazzolini, and that's all it is. And lo and behold, by the grace of God, man, found out that he was just doing athletics or running, and he ended up hurting his leg. Broski, like something mad meaty, like hurt his leg, and then he was just, you understand? He was just, bro, what I went through mentally, like to be able to charge yourself up to tell yourself that you know that you're gonna go jail and do whatever time it is. Bro, I made a decision. Like I remember, like I made a decision that with my family, I'm so protective of my family, bro. I can't lie, like I'm like ready to go all out to get it. Like, so when I had an inkling or I thought that man had got my brother down, I was like, yeah, I'll go to the college. I'll do the Mazzolini. I know I'll be everywhere. I'll go to jail. It is what it is. But we thank God and we give God thanks that, bro, that was nothing like it, because I wouldn't be here to tell the tale and be able to speak, you know, so, boy.
I mean,
yeah.
let's kind of touch more into detail of that, because a lot of young people are sitting in jail right now doing life because maybe of a retaliation, maybe just they got beef with someone else. But that whole process of actually accepting I'm going to go and spend the rest of my life in prison, it takes a lot of courage to kind of accept that. Where does that come from, and how dangerous is that? Because there's young people now who don't kind of understand, yeah, you're going to spend the rest of your life in jail, and those people in jail now are crying, they're rushing to come out. So what really takes that, I don't know, what gets inside of you to really get to those thoughts that, you know what, I am happy to go and spend the rest of my life in jail because of this?
My brother, I'll be honest with you, I think it's an animal instinct, if I'm being honest with you. I feel like it's an animal part of the brain. And when I say animal part of the brain, I mean as in like, when you lose composure, you lose thought of logic, and you're just angry, all out, just in the moment, act of impulse, and you just go, and adrenaline, because that's what a lot of it was, bro, when we were out there. It's a whole lot of adrenaline, bro, like a whole load of it. So it doesn't give you enough time to think. You go with the feeling, you go with the emotion, you go with the drive, you go with all of that, and before you know it, bang, done. And then when everything's done, you've calmed down, and now reality kicks in. So for me personally, like it was like an animal instinct, bro. Like it was never anything that I tried to put on. It was never anything I tried to like, oh, let me try act like I'm a bad boy, like I'm on this thing. Broski, it was nothing like that at all. It was like, on site. Like, or, what, they're over there? What, the pick? What? 0.5 seconds. Grab something, gone, out, get busy. That was like, it's just off instincts, impulse, adrenaline. You have no time to even think. No time to think.
And like with that as well, like then what was the kind of the ambition for yourself? Because of course everyone knows you can be on road doing what you're doing, but what was the exit route, exit plan? Did you ever think of that at the time?
Honestly, broski, I remember with the dogs, we never even thought we'll get past 18. On God, like we couldn't see a life past 18. Couldn't, because what were we going to do? Have kids, get a job, start a business? Where? From what world? How? When? Nah. So I don't think I even saw anything past that, bro. I'll be honest. Like, we never thought that man would even get past 18. 18 for us was like, like some of the dogs, we would just be like, yeah, like we'll have our little utes and that running around. Like, yeah, you'd have your ute, I have my ute, we'll roll out, go out and do things like ABC and just have fun. Like, but it was nothing more than that, bro. We couldn't see nothing past, or me personally, bro, I couldn't see nothing past 18. And if I did see anything past 18, it would have been like a blank canvas, honestly.
So it gets to a point then, of course you're living this lifestyle, things are a bit dangerous, things are techie, but within that same area, there's a group of younger people growing up and they're watching you guys. How did you feel about the influence you then had on these young people?
To be honest with you, I didn't even know that man had an influence on them. As stupid as it may sound, because they were our younger lot, if that makes sense. But I never really thought man had influence on them because I just, in a mad way, I just used to think about just myself and the gang, really. I never really looked at the younger lot. And if someone told me that they were really watching us, I don't know if I would have acted any different, but I would have been really surprised. Just because I didn't think, I guess I understand why you were watching us, but I didn't think, that the young lot are watching us and, you know, this, that, the other. Nah. Mm-mm.
So at that time as well in Brixton, there was this sort of new, not even a rush, but a new change of everyone turning to Islam. Was there any point at where you kind of looked at that?
Yeah, of course.
You being from a Christian background, how did that kind of affect your thinking?
It was a little bit funny for me at first. I won't even lie, because all of my bros, and when I say my bros, I mean the older bros, were all Muslim. And even some of the younger lot my age were also Muslim as well. So it was always like a little bit of a grey area for me. I guess, like some of the older brothers would speak to me and say, "Right, when are you going to take a shahada?" Like, and so on and so forth. And I would just be like soon. Like, I would be like, right, like soon. But obviously, because I have grown up in a Christian household, it was too techie to maneuver. You understand? Like, it was just mad. Like, but yeah, like I feel like I almost did. I am gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. Just because we were that was the brotherhood. Like, as much as I wasn't Muslim, but we were all bros, because when it's time to get busy, we get busy. When we're laughing together, we're laughing together. When we're having fun, we're doing it all together. So yeah, like I did feel a little bit of a grey area, but the bros and stuff like that, they never really kind of like made me feel like an outcast. Like, they always made me still feel like, yeah, you're Christian, but you're still part of the gang. Do you get it? So
did you actually study it at all? Or?
No, I didn't. But I would listen to sometimes when my brother Stinks would be given, you know, like dawah to the bros on the block and stuff like that, and just like sharing the importance of Islam and stuff like that and whatnot. And I'll be around and I'll be listening, I'll be hearing. You know, it's big bro, you know, you're gonna listen. If big bro's, you know, talking about something positive and stuff like that, you're gonna give your ear to it, you know. So I did definitely give my ear to it. In terms of the transitioning into Islam, I guess after a while we were just busy just doing nonsense, so that kind of like was a little bit on the back burner.
So obviously you're going through all these things, and it comes to a time where we get a little bit older. The beef we think we're having is not really as intense as it should be. What was the change? What made you say, actually, this lifestyle is long? To be
all the way honest with you, yeah, like where I'm from in Myatts, like we used to call it Baghdad. For you to step into there, to come and like get anyone down, you have to make sure that you're coming in there absolutely correct. And I say that not bragging about the ends to like magnify badness. I'm just calling a spade a spade. You would have probably had to come with the maddest things, 2 or 3 or 4 of them, and maybe like just do the mazzoline for no one to even like be able to react or respond. But the dads, what we call Baghdad, was like the Gaza, bro. I ain't even gonna lie. Like, beef, you couldn't come there and beef man there. It would almost be like a death trap for you. You understand that? You couldn't beef man there. So, and because that was like our habitat where we stayed, like we never did the partying, Ibiza and going to raves here and bro, we couldn't go nowhere. We couldn't be outside. It was too dangerous. So we stayed in the hood, and that's obviously where our habitat was. Beef, you couldn't have beef. Like, so we felt like big dogs. I ain't gonna lie. It was like, bro, no one can't touch us. Like, we're untouchable. Like, who out there really can check for man? That's how we felt. Even though there's a lot of people that could check for man, but we felt like no one couldn't check for man. So when I would say, transitioning, like I felt like we've done everything that man needs to do. Like, I felt like, bro, like there's nothing that man ain't done that I'm like, oh yeah, no, bro. I felt like we had hit quite a high pinnacle, like, of road status. I feel like, bro, our names were everywhere. Like, things are happening, bootings were happening, a whole lot of things were happening. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I felt like, wow, no one could even check for me anyway. And then I feel like my brethren and stuff like that, like passing and stuff like that, I don't even think that's what changed me. I felt like that made me start thinking to myself, like, this is just all a joke, bro. Like, my brothers that man thought that man will grow with and be with to the end, like, have been rubbed. Like, they've been rubbed out. And it's like, what other reason do we still have to keep being on the road? Like, man's done everything. Like, we've got what we need. If it's hammers we need, hammers are there. If it's whatever it is, it's there, it's available. So it's like, man, I've ever felt like, yeah, like, oh, you know, there was anything else more to do, you know? And then when my bedrooms in that past, like my good bros, like, I can't even lie, I don't even like talking about them. Yeah, I don't really like talking about them, but when my bros in that past, like my close bros, bro, like, those were like deep moments for me. I ain't even gonna lie, bro. Like heavy moments for me, bro. And I would even say that that's what made me drop it. It just made me think a little bit more. It just made me think, bro, we've done everything. Man's dogs are gone. Like, I feel like my family was gone. It's like I don't have nothing else. So I was a little bit open to try and understand if there could be a potential another life out there. If there could be maybe something else more out there. And yeah.
What would you say the importance then that your parents played at this time in terms of maybe church, religion, and so on, to kind of take you all the way through the other side?
Bro, it's so crazy, yeah, because the amount of stories, bro, that I could be on this camera and tell them, man, yeah, we'll be here for, honest to God, maybe 4 or 5 days, no word of a lie, in terms of like how that works. But my mum was running her own church for a while, like proper faith-based woman, I can't even lie, man. Like, she loves God, like she's like busy, I can't even lie. And she always took interest in my dogs. I guess primarily because obviously they were my dogs, and like she would always take interest in them. Like, she knew that some of my dogs were on badness, she could tell. But she always took them. My mum used to bring all my dogs into my house and stuff like that, feed them jollof rice, bro. Like, my mum even got a pool table one time in my crib and put it in their living room, removed their chairs, bro, put it in their living room, just so that the man them can be in the house and not endanger ourselves, and we can just be playing pool in the crib. We even had a table tennis, come to think of it, bro. My mum was nuts. We had a table tennis in my crib, like, and just for the bros to stay indoors, if that makes sense. Like, and my mum would cook jollof, mac and cheese, ABC, like everything that we needed, food, so we didn't have to go out. She'll provide. A social environment, she will provide that, just so that we don't have to be outside getting busy. Yeah, like, so in my mum doing all of that, she would use that as a point of contact to obviously that do prayers and stuff like that with the bros and whatnot. And if I'm being honest with you, I feel like a lot of prayers, like a lot of her speaking the right things. Like, when we're saying praying, we're talking about speaking, like we're talking to God. Like, you get it? So I feel like a lot of that had a part to play on us. Like, you can't be prayed for and just feel the same, bro. No human being, bro. No one can get prayers or anyone speaking goodness into their life, bro, or any of those things, and just be the same. Do you get it? Even if you don't completely change, you're gonna feel something at that moment, you know. And I feel like those moments were like little experiences for myself and some of my dogs that probably never left us. Yeah. So they were like little seeds that had been getting sown, I guess, from the get-go. Yeah, in transition.
So it gets to a point that where you didn't say, you know what, you wanna give back. What made you wanna give back, and let us know what you're kind of doing now?
Mm-hmm. You know what, like in the ends, like unfortunately, bro, we never really had no like role models in terms of like just doing like goodness. Like, of course, some of the bros were doing music and stuff like that, which was good. Like, but like outside of that, there weren't really any role models. Like, it was just gang banging, bro. Like, and just getting busy, bro. Like, and it's like as I was transitioning, like, remember, man had done or did so much damage in the ends, bro. Like, remember, youths are coming for man in the ends. Not that they ever caught any of us, but they would come when we're not there, to really try and get man down. So we caused a lot of, like, we put a lot of people in danger. I ain't even gonna lie. And you know, like, as I started transitioning, going to church a bit more and whatnot, and I'm reflecting on things a bit more, I started to think to myself, bro, like, the same influence that man had in a mad way on the ends, like, ain't there any way that man could have that sort of same influence in a positive aspect? Because some of my dogs would be like, well, Max, like, you were like one of the leaders. That's how they would classify man. Like, people would listen to man when man speaks, or if man's saying ABC, a man would give their ear. I wasn't, like, in the ends, I wasn't, in the most respectful way, I wasn't any of the follower man them. I was either, if not lead or second lead in command. It would either be one of two. So I just thought, man's created so much havoc here, bro. Like, can't man try and give back? And obviously through that, man just started like a little small program of football where it's just like, let the man them just come and we just kick ball. And just do like little structured training sessions. Just like a little thing, like nothing even really serious, because it's like, what do I know about managing people? What do I know about bringing the man them together to do something positive? I don't know nothing about that stuff, bro. I'm just trying a thing, like, you know, just trying to do something positive. And then, lo and behold, like, fast forward, bro, I don't know what happened. One of my mates, one of my female mates from church, one time she just come to me, bro, no cap, and she said to me, like, she felt like God impressed in her heart to donate some money for me to like get some equipment for like footballs and hurdles and stuff like that to start this thing. And I'm like, wow, that's mad. Then did that, started this little small academy called NASA. It was, at the time, it was like from age 16 to like 24. And by this time, I was probably like 19. So I was coaching youths that were much older than me as well at the time. But I guess because of the leadership role or skill, should I say, that I feel like I probably had from the role anyway, or from whenever, it was easy for them to sort of kind of like respect what I was doing. And then through then, like, I just started thinking, nah, like, this model works. Like, people are coming to come and kick ball from different places, like, and allow a man to train them. I don't know why. I'm not sure as to why. I still don't know up to this day. And then man thought, nah, like, we need to catch the younger generation then, you know, like, and try and get them as early as possible and try and lock them in so none of them are having to go through anything that man went through. Because out of probably a lot of my dogs, I'm probably like maybe the pick of the litter that cut through. The dogs that were running around with man, bro, respectfully, man's like, and respect to them, bro. Like, so man's doing 30 years odd. Some of my dogs are 6 feet under the grave. And man's still here. Man cut through, you know? So for me, it's like, nah, man really has to try and see if man can do something with the second life or the second chance that man's been given to try and make it right, you know, and try and make sure that some of these youths that come in to man's fold or into man's hands or into man's club don't have to go through what man went through, if that makes sense. Because I don't think that anyone, or there's anything that man hasn't seen, done, gone through that any of these little youths could potentially be going through, if that makes sense. So I just thought we'll use football to help push them, the talented ones, the talented man them from the ends, push them and help nurture them and, you know, implement life skills into them and stuff like that. And then, you know, even if they don't end up being footballers, at least they've got certain fundamentals, certain life skills with them, and whatever career path that they decide that they want to head into, at least they've got the base, you know, whether they want. And it's so impressive to see that some of the younger ones that are now older, at 18, 19, that I used to coach, I see them working and stuff like that now, bro. Like, my heart, bro, it does something mad, because some of these youths had mad potential to just get busy, bro. Mad potential. Honest to God, like to just leave football and just get cracking on and just on the road. And to see some of them still pursuing, some of them have even come back and helped coach with us here and there. And just to see that, like, that man's made an impact on however many lives it is. Some of them are even playing for England under 17s, Millwall, Chelsea, name it, like all like Cat 1 clubs. You know, to see that like just based on one decision that we made to do good, we've been able to help inspire these young people. And I can't lie, like, that's been like the biggest thing for me, like to see even some of them working full time and that, bro. Like, even when they see me now, it's not coach, it's like, yo, like, what's good? And I'm like, yo, like, bro, like, I'm so happy to see that you're working and stuff like that. You're not out here just getting busy, you know. So yeah, man.
How long has it been running now? So
we've been running the club for about 7 years now. Yeah, about 7 years. It ain't been an easy 7 years, I'll tell you that much. I ain't gonna lie.
I know firsthand, because I've been running my football club for 7 years myself as well, so I know the difficulties of it in terms of getting funding.
Yeah, bro, it's been like tough, man. I'm not even gonna lie, but if I be honest with you, like probably like 4 or 5 years in, bro, we've just been forking out our own bread. And some of my dogs, like, that are from the road, like, respectfully have even supported, man, like, because they respect the transition so much, bro, like, and it's never really been heard of, like, in where I'm from, anyway, from Bricky, like, you don't really, there's none of the man them, honestly speaking, that I know of, that have been neck deep in that man was, transition and give back to the community in the way that man's doing it. No one. And I say that in my whole chest. There might be people that, you know, bro, and I use the word neck deep, bro, because I still, up to this day, don't know how on earth man cut through and man ain't in jail doing a 32, or man just being 6 feet under. I don't know, my brother. Well, actually, I do know, because I know it's God's grace. But man was neck deep in, my brother. Like, we shouldn't even be I shouldn't even be on this camera right now. And the man in that know, you know. I would never make mention of no names, go ask this one about me, or broski. If you know, you already know. And it's as simple as that, you know. And even some of my older lot, when they see me now, they'll stop me and be like, Mike, do you know how proud man is of you? Like, no one from the ends, you, Carl, Terrell, no one from the ends has been neck deep like you man were, and flipped it that you lot are doing mad positives now. Bro, the way they champion man is different, bro. Like, different. Yeah, you think because they're older than man, they want, bro, they champion man properly, bro.
And how does that make you feel?
Brother, it's one of the greatest feelings, because we were getting slaughtered when we first was transitioning. I ain't even gonna lie, we were getting slaughtered, bro. There was a whole load of man chatting nonsense about man, bro. Talking about how man's washed up, man's turned soft, the man there shook because of the beef, etc. Bro, we were getting it. What? Bro, there was even man that would sometimes even try and check man. Did you get it? Like, bro, even when we were transitioning, I remember my first job I got, bro, in Miss Selfridge's. I don't even know what a CV is. One of my lady friends helped me put a CV together, bro. We was in West End. It was even weird, bro. In West End, I've never even been West End. Handing out CVs, me and one of my bros that were on the road as well. Handing out CVs, bro. And that same bro that was handing out CVs, RIP him, Ratty. Yeah, he passed. Yeah, that one's heavy for me, bro. I can't even lie. Yeah, he passed. He got shot in his head. Yeah, and that's my brother. That's my brother. Like, for us to go to West End and be handing out CVs together, pretty much sums it all up. And it's mad because I got the job before him, even though we handed out CVs on the same day. by the time myself just gave his mum a call to say that we want to interview him, he was dead.
Wow.
Yeah, he was dead. Yeah, he was dead.
I mean,
yeah.
Trying to keep it on the positives.
Yeah.
I mean, where can people kind of find the club? Where is it situated? How do young people get themselves involved? How do parents get in contact?
So obviously, like, we've got our website, Instagram, official law, FCN, NASA, or you can just type in www.nasaacademy.com. You'd see us on the net. But we're all over the socials, like on Facebook, Instagram, and whatnot. And yeah, man, we just really want to make sure that like none of these youths have to go through what man went through. And remember, this is just like an overview. Like, there's no intricates I'm giving you at all. It's just an overview, like, of how man lived. Like, but yeah, we just want to make sure that, bro, like, we really can like use what we're doing as a point of contact to be able to reach these little youths and let them know that, bro, that change is real. And I use myself as an example, bro. If man could change, I promise you to God, there's no one under the sun on God that can't change.
And I know, like I said earlier, me running a football club, how difficult it is in regards to getting funding and sponsors and stuff like that. So if there are local organisations in Brixton who want to sponsor, get involved, what I will say as well, which I told everyone, one of the more obtainable funds to try and get is an awards for all, which is £10,000 for the lottery. So anyone that's listening that's also running similar organisations, wherever you're from, it's £10,000 you can get from the lottery called Awards for All, which gives money to people like yourselves who are doing things within the community to stop young people to getting themselves into trouble, but also getting them powerful. So definitely try to look into that. I mean, any kind of last words you got for people out there? So maybe your peers of your age, but also for the younger lot now coming up who are watching this.
Like for like the man that are my age, like I've always kept it all the way 100, like, and just let them know that, bro, like, there is actually more to life, bro, than man being out here on God. I just realizes that some people are scared to make that leap, that jump. We were brave enough, I guess, to take that leap and discover that there was light at what we call end of the tunnel. So my bros and that are still battling with being on the road, I can't lie, if I'm still here, bros, you lot can do it, man. No cap, you just gotta have faith and just trust the process and trust that, right, that man can really still make something of themselves. Like, it ain't over, you know? And for the young boys that are coming up, like, I don't really like to give the same message that everyone talks, come off the road, you get killed and it's not good and it's a facade. We all know it's a facade, but you see, when you've been on the road, like, and you've got that mindset, you ain't got no one to guide you and really take you by the hand and show you mad love and really break this stuff down to you, you're gonna think what you're doing is right to do, you know? So for the little ones, the younger ones, should I say, that are up and coming, like, you lot are too special, man. I can't even lie. You lot are way too special to be able to sell you lot self so short. I ain't even gonna lie. And I know that it's not even totally, completely you lot's fault, because probably what you've grown up and seen and seeing whoever's on top get busy and that's all you lot know. Try and know that there are some new role models that are out there. No cap, yeah, there might be just a minute of us, but we're out there. You know, myself, my bros, you know, that have come off and transitioned and doing really good with themselves, bro. You know, there is a way a man don't have to stay in. I'm not saying it's an easy task at all. It wasn't an easy transition at all, but at least you've got the likes of people like myself who've been done there, that you lot can hit me up. Like, I will have that conversation by all means all day long. We can chop it up, whoever you are, you know, so yeah, man.
Is there ever a time where it will be past the mic?
Family, to be brutally honest with you, I'm not the title man. It's not my thing. Like, everyone's banged that because my mum, my dad, ABC, but for me, broski, I don't like titles, man. And in terms of a pastoral work, in terms of what they do, in terms of like chatting to young people, looking after them and whatnot, bro, like, it's what man do anyway. Do you get it? You're never gonna see me that sort of like religious, nah. I like to be me. I like to be how I am, who I am, and I still think I could be equally as effective the way I am without having to be on a pulpit or have a religious, aura about me, if that makes sense. Now I feel like I can do the same. So I prefer to just be Mike's, if I'm honest.
I hear you, man. And there, guys, that was a Big Ego interview, and there was Mike's, man. Thank you for coming down, and guys, tune in next time.